Former New England Patriot linebacker, our pal Rob Ninkovich.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
What's your choice of?
So this, I do believe, is Boston Brick Red.
Oh,
and you can only get that here or some of the old bars. From what I was told.
Yeah.
Is that accurate? I think yes. Yes, that's accurate.
Excellent.
So you can't get this.
Are you happy with it?
Oh, it's terrific.
I've never had a red beer before.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get to everything else, I have to say this. Yesterday, my YouTube algorithm is just bizarrely dedicated to old Patriots games.
Yeah.
Oh.
You were absolutely monstrous in the divisional game against Tebow and the Broncos.
Oh, yeah, I killed them. Yeah,
that might have been your best. I was watching.
You know what I regret about that game, and I should have done it, but they approached me to do mic'd up, right? And at the time, I might be a little bit, OCD, a little crazy, and when I'm playing, I don't know what I'm saying, so I'm thinking to myself.
As soon as the words came out of their mouth, did Edelman jump in front and say, I'll do it? I'll take it.
So I just was like, I don't want that in my head. I don't want to have to think about what I'm saying to somebody, what I'm telling somebody.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because
are a lot of guys like that? They don't want to do it?
Well, remember, our mic'd up was different.
Yeah.
This one is concealed mic'd up. Yeah. So if you go up to somebody and you say something and they say something back or you're going into something, everyone knows what you're saying.
But isn't the NFL going to protect you guys? So they're not going to release if you say something.
No, you've seen some people say some stuff that they wish they don't have out there for everyone to hear. And so for me, I didn't want to have to go up to somebody and be like, yo, like, especially in a playoff game, because you're focused in on
when
playing.
You sacked Tebow, did he say, like, and also with you?
That guy, he's pretty good. He was strong. Yeah. Let's just say he was strong. Throwing the ball was a challenge, and that's very, very key as a quarterback. You have to throw.
The trash talking was next level.
Yeah, it's like, different. I don't know. You think it's as intense as it was back then?
Well, I don't know. Maybe back then. That's why mic'd up was. When we did it, it was very beep. Everything was being bleeped out. And I think guys are aware it's a little bit more rah-rah.
I think people are just too nice now.
Yes. We were the trash.
Honestly, I mean, think about Ray Lewis. He used to be like, oh, let me help you up. No, he was trying to kill you.
Did you
literally?
Did you
literally?
Well, did you happen to hear? Robert Kraft on the show?
I did on the right in, yes, Beantown.
What did you think about kind of what he said about Gerard Mayo and his ability to coach the new player?
I do think that if you are a former player, you have the ability to express to a player, I know how it feels to miss a tackle. I know how it feels to have a mental error and mess a play up. Like, let's move past that. And I think you go into certain instances where, there were times where I would look at Matty P and just say, "Here, take my helmet."
If you're so good,
you can do it better.
Can you do it? And like, and then we'd get in an argument about it because
I know how it feels that you want more money.
So, and I love Matty, and we have a great relationship. But there's a difference, and I think certain players look at guys that played, and they have a different viewpoint of those guys. And Mayo, having been a player, rookie of the year, team captain. You can put yourself in the player's shoes, how they feel in training camp. If you're the last guy on the roster and you're doing everything you can to just, scratch and claw to try and stay on the roster, you know exactly how that feels. So you can relate to the pressures and the feelings that you have in the preseason, in the regular season, in the playoffs, all those things. It's very taxing. Everyone asks me like, wow, Ninko, you look great. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not stressed out of my mind. And every single day I was having someone look at me and be like, oh, he's kind of chubby today. Let's see if we can replace him. Yeah, it's like, it was a very stressful environment. Everything you do is, always critiqued.
Do you think it's hurting the fact that Matt Judon is being so vocal right now because he feels that maybe deeper connection or more open connection with Gerard Mayo?
Well, anytime you're going through contract stuff, for me personally, I always wanted to keep it tight to the chest, right? And I know there's different ways, tactical ways of negotiating, but honestly, as a football player, you're trying to maximize every single day that you have because we all know that it's a very short amount of time that you can play football. And the contracts right now are getting crazy. Let's just say they're not out of control. They are in line with what the market says they are, right? So if you have a defensive end that's supposed to make $20 million a year and he's making 10, then you got to try and bridge that gap, right? So I think that Judon is in the position now where he's at an age that it gets difficult because if you're 32, then you're 33, you sign a 3-year deal, then you're 35. You know, how many 35-year-old guys are still playing? I mean, Aaron Donald right now is retired at 33.
Like, but you don't win. You don't think you win by making your coach look bad?
So I think
by dressing your coach, you can't think that was a good move.
When I say keep things close to your chest, I feel like conversations, interactions should always stay private. And when you start to put things out there, then that creates more conflict, more tension, and it's never good when you're trying to get something done and they're trying to get something done and there's conflict.
But see, the issue, I think,
it's like me and doing the dishes,
right,
me and my wife.
Right.
If I put it out there, it's not a good thing. I just got to keep it real quiet, do what I'm told.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue that a lot of, because you got to understand, it's every player handles things differently. Some guys like Rob, keep it close to the chest. I was a guy that I was always trying to be the nice guy because I knew I didn't have the leverage, right? So there are guys like Judon looks at it and goes, well, I played in 4 games last year, I had 4 sacks. I got the leverage.
He doesn't have the leverage.
No, so the problem is as you get older, your leverage is, no matter how you play, is diminishing because of the fact that they don't care. I don't care what you did 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't care what you did last year.
But the older you get to F you. Here's what I'm going to say. Some guys do.
And then you can look at your roster and you say, well, 93 looks pretty good.
Right.
They got some rushers that are pretty hungry.
Right.
And they're doing whatever they can. So you have to, look at things in a perspective of, okay, what's my timeline here? What do I have? What's the most amount of time that I can get something done? And, dependent on what that player wants. So I don't know what Judon wants. Nobody knows what the price is or the asking price is because I assume that if it was just guaranteeing this year, it would have been done. Right? If it was extending for 3 years or something that was more relative to what the top 5 pass rushers, the top pass rushers are making $35 million a year. But
do you think Judon looks at it?
You have to be smart.
Right. Do you think he looks at it from the perspective of, okay, I'm making, $6.5 million this year. I know that I should be valued at, 17, 18. I'm just pulling a number out of that. Do you think he looks at it and goes, if New England is to trade me, I'm going to get that from another organization?
The hard part about that is age, right? And that everybody is up against the clock. And I sat down at a table, and me and Bill Belichick looked at each other in the eyes. He said, Rob, I've never extended a 33-year-old defensive end. Ever. Right. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Well, I better reevaluate this situation. All right, I'm 32. I'm going to be 33. So
thanks, Coach.
That's telling me something. So you have to look at things in the perspective.
You have to appreciate the honesty.
Oh, 100%.
Transparency.
And I said, okay, that's, great.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Bill
you for
doesn't
telling
his
me
players and other people.
So, and you talk about this is the slippery slope on, production. If you look at David Andrews, for example.
Right.
I would give David Andrews the bumps to help, hey, I feel a little underappreciated here. I've done a lot of things for this organization. I've won Super Bowls. I've been the guy. I've been the captain. I've done everything the right way. I'd give him a bump. Yes, because you have young guys that look at the older guys. They look at, if you're an offensive lineman, you're first in the league. You're looking at David Andrews. You're like, man, this is how I want to replicate my career. I want to play a long time. I want to make money, provide for my family, all those things. So you give a guy like that a bump because every single day he comes in, he's a leader, he does the right things, he makes the right moves. Now, you have to make sure that you give the right guys the right bumps, and the wrong guys, you just have to either let them walk if they want too much. But you look in the past of the Patriots, there are plenty of guys that could have been extended that walked out the door and got huge contracts.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game.
You were on the Saints, you were on the Dolphins before you came to the Patriots. And the Patriots today more resemble those Saints and Dolphins teams in terms of
Oh, no, not even close. I was 1-15 with a Miami Dolphins team. Fights on the airplane. Guys losing $300,000 before practice. Like, real issues. I'm talking, I saw, guys lose their whole paycheck in one hand.
Hooray for the boot!
Yeah, for the boot. For the boot. And I was doing it. He knew exactly what I was doing.
Whole paycheck.
Bang, $300,000. I'm like,
God.
oh my goodness.
$300,000 in one hand?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Cow.
my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hooray for the boot!
You owe me, and I'm sitting there like, man, we're 0-10. I wonder if this is an issue for chemistry. It's like not good.
That's an IOU.
Yeah. And you thank God for Greg Camarillo in overtime, a slant route against the Ravens, and we were not 0-16. Because if the only reason we were not 0-16 was Greg Camarillo, and we had Trent Green that year that went down. Cleo Lemon was our starting quarterback.
Holy
Joey
cow.
Porter, they had just gave a ton of money to. He's talking about taking shots of Hennessy before the game.
Oh my God.
It was nuts.
Madman. IOU's got to be
Channing
paid
Crowder.
by Tuesday.
It was nuts. Joey Porter walks up to me. He's like, Nico, can you grab this $100 bill? And I have no money. I have no money. I'm just a practice squad kid. He takes the $100 bill and he goes, here, try to grab it. He drops it. I miss it. He goes, you owe me $100. I said, no, I don't. And he didn't even call me Ninko. He called me Kukoc because I look like Tony Kukoc, I guess.
I didn't know your name. It's like Wiki.
Yeah.
We got to take a quick break. I want to get your thoughts on last night, if you can get anything from the. I know you.
Yeah, it's a long game. When I watch preseason, I'm like, oh.
I want to know.
I like to see the order of when guys are in.
Yeah.
Who they're going against, and at the end of the day, production. If you produce, whoever you're playing against is great. So when they put guys out there, they put them in there for a reason in certain orders against who they're playing against. Is maybe backups, maybe third strings, guys that might not be there.
Okay.
But
we'll get your thoughts.
See.
All right. The great Rob Ninkovich is our guest here at the Sam Adams Taproom, downtown, Faneuil Hall. Our 5th birthday show. We'll be right back.